At what point will liberals wake up and ask themselves why their candidate would go to such extremes to destroy their opponent?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
You should be very suspicious of those people that are boohoo whining and crying about political violence in this country, while at the same time, their party is the most violent that we've ever seen, right? In this country, we've never seen a more violent version of this Democrat Party and the things that they condone and support. Remember, we had an assassination attempt on a Supreme Court justice not too long ago after Roe v. Wade was overturned. And then we have 2 attempts on the former president's life. But yet these are the people that are telling you that, hey, we are going to solve the hate and division in this country. We're going to stop the political violence. We're going to save democracy. But yet they've shown that their party is everything that they claim that they stand against. And again, a rational, logical thinker should be able to see through this, right? It is so obvious.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite.
They go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get up and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
2 days since somebody allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again. And you're here at the podium in the White House briefing room calling him a threat. How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
Peter, if anything from this administration, I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question, the question that you're asking. It is also incredibly dangerous in the way that you're asking it, because American people are watching. And to say that from an administration who has consistently condemned political violence, from an administration where the president called the former president and was thankful, grateful that he was okay, from an administration who has called out January 6th, called out the attack of Paul Pelosi, called out and said we need to lower the temperature after the Butler incident, and now for you to make that kind of comment in your question, because your question involved a comment and a statement. And, it is, that is also incredibly dangerous.
We are entering a new time. Anybody who is paying attention knows that. I have seen an assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan. History shows it comes from one of three groups, either crazies, John Hinckley, or wound up communists, anarchists, socialists, comes from the left, or it comes from Palestinian zealots. That's just a fact. We have all of those zealots at a zenith of power right now, and they are wound tight as a drum. Our media doesn't really care.